Okay, today we're beating Pillars 2. Let me start sailing for Kaizo. I think I have everything to do it without conscripting the help of any of the factions, so why not? Got a pretty good build still going on. Assuming that Aethys is weak against Ice Ball and Yelling, teleporting around the battlefield. I guess speaking of which, maybe make sure that I've got food available here for the hero at least. Special food, corpse loaf. I can make lots of these. Okay, that's good. That was really loud. Okay. That's more food than I'll ever need for that character. See if there's anything else I want for the other party members. But you don't use the name of the emote out loud as an adjective, right? So you have nothing to be ashamed of. No, I think it's a challenging position to like recognize that language is descriptive rather than prescriptive, but still like have a pet peeve about a specific turn of phrase or a specific usage, right? Definitely have some of those. It usually gets me where like the meaning of something has reversed from its original meaning. Right? Literally it. So it's like, how do you complain about it without coming off as like a language is prescriptive and everything needs to follow the rules all the time and there can never be anything new? Fog is thicker than water. Let me make a manual save here really quick just in case there's shenanigans in it. Fast, there we go. Anytime you find yourself in a position where you appreciate that something is nuanced, but your position sounds unnuanced as someone that doesn't know you well and is able to give you the benefit of the doubt, right? Don't like literally as a figurative emphasis. I've embraced it. I usually at least try to pause for a second and be like, wait, is this is literally not correct here? But two crew members are arguing on the deck. Oh, this is the fish one again. Okay. Success. Stow the fish in the hold. Never even gonna save here. I think I've just transitioned to using the phrase actually literally. Mean literally. Should you choose to sail on, you suspect there should be no return. Thanks, game. I appreciate that. Storms of Andra's mortar encompass the visible horizon. Hurricane winds roar like an imprisoned beast. Perceive some colossal Adra pillars. I'm calling it my spectral ship. Hey, we make the storms chill out. Thank you, Flying Dutchman. Litter, actually. I think everyone gets to have some set of pet peeve phrases, right? There's a lot of like political euphemisms that drive me insane when I hear them, even though you could argue that they're valid usage. This is my first time noticing that there's a sword resting on the book in the bottom right corner, and like a chain thing in the top left. Wreathed in ghostly mist, you drift onward at the pace of a funerary procession. The storm holds its silence and maintains a respectful distance. So I had come here with a rando boat, I would not have made the storm go away, and this would have been bad news bears. You cannot shake the feeling of sorrow and wrongness that pervades your journey. Hey, we can see Ukaizo in the distance. Ornate spires reach up from the island, hinting at the city within. Not all of Ukaizo has weathered the millennia with equal grace. Other structures jut and lean out of the surrounding shallows. It's a real place. The coming storm. Okay, I made a save before coming here. I was going to start using quick saves again. Hey, you get open the Ukaizo exploration with a level up here. Perfect. So apparently I need more points in Intimidate, but I think I already did the highest Intimidate thing in the game. Too bad the Vengeful Defeat doesn't like make you get back up if you killed him or something. %50 chance interrupt on crit. Just let it interrupt on crit. You got a cooler cutscene? Bunch of extra spells that I don't really need. You can take them to have them, I guess. Piercing Sigil. Temporal Cocoon. Oh, that's a neat way to twist the design space. There's a couple of these abilities in this game that lock somebody out of combat. This one makes it so, like, poison keeps affecting them. Catabald's Black Bow. I think I'm basically out of interesting passives. I guess we'll take the Reflex Defense upgrade. Oh, that's cool. Fire giants are still around, they're all over the channel. Ships from all the factions are duking it out. And the water dragon showed up to help you. So I freed the dragon but didn't get help. Cool looking creature. What's up, dude? Can I talk to you, or are you about to fight? Drips down the tip of its mallet-like head.
Where would you even stab something like that?
In the toe, repeatedly.
What manner of creature is this?
Stay close, Ishi. That's one heavy bird.
Aye, sure, that. Whatever that be, why not?
Everyone gets to weigh in.
So alone, never alone. Exokaizo reached.
Interesting. So you get something here. If I was a Deadfire Mala. Yeah, by a colossal god made of Vajra. Where have you been?
Here. We have been here. We're the gates of Ukaizo. We guard the silence of Ukaizo. You are a disturbance.
Rawatai. Bronze plates grind together with a discordant shriek. Just trying to reach Aethys. He's the one you want.
Aethys has disturbed the bones of Ukaizo. The old pacts permit him to pass. But you will go no further. Kaizo is closed. The gates are barred.
I want answers, Arukaizo. Before we fight, give me lore.
Our covenant with the Old Ones does not forbid questions.
Of course it doesn't. I feel like Obsidian is carrying on the torch of old BioWare.
The living were meant to forget Ukaizo. Nothing can be gained of remembering it.
I was under the impression dragons love to talk. Humor me.
We will indulge ourselves before shredding.
Is this thing built by the Golem god?
Existence. The chosen people of the Deadfire called Ukaizo home. The outsiders were their contemporaries, full of wisdom, ingenuity, and terrifying ambition.
He's got a really cool post-processing effect on his voice.
The Inquisitors, of course. Only they would create a monster and bind it to guarding their secrets.
I feel like some kind of voice post-processing is really important for me in these sorts of settings. Like, Skyrim is so weird to me that basically every character in the game sounds like it's the same pool of like 18 voice actors, completely unmodified.
They did not create us. They united us as one. The Old Ones and the Outsiders traded, collaborated, learned.
It's like, you're a lizard person and you sound like a grocery store clerk.
Outsiders.
I guess a lizard person could be a grocery store clerk, but
The rift unmade them both.
you sound like every other human grocery store clerk. What caused the rift?
The Outsiders coveted ancient Ukaizo. Its occupation was a hindrance. Machines were built on a foundation of outsider lies. When the machines were nearly done, the Outsiders constructed bodies of flesh and bone.
Bodies.
Skeletons now. Their remains littering Great Ukaizo.
Cool. What were these machines?
Ones which drew the spirits of the dead through a sieve. Finally, the Outsiders fashioned a guardian to stand vigil over their work.
Is that you?
Our bond with the Old Ones compelled us to trust their allies. They offered us a trade, eternal life for eternal service.
Sounds pretty sucky.
We were ordered to slam shut the gates of Ukaizo for all time.
What happened when the machines went active?
Outsiders vanished from the world, leaving the Old Ones dumbfounded. Quiet gave way to chaos. Storms battered the seas. The sleeping hearts of mountains awoke with fury. When the last screams of the Old Ones faded, only we remained.
No one's been through here since the
None but
devastation?
the green colossus whose every footstep disturbs tranquility. You are the first kith to visit the shores of Lost Ukaizo, and you will be the last.
I love this guy.
This idle chatter was a refreshing change of pace. May your journey through the wheel be an informed one.
I didn't come to fight, but if you bar the way, then I have little
You
choice.
chose death when you set your bearing, traveler. Prepare yourself.
Cool music. Oh, there's ads. Audra Animat Mads. Resists all afflictions. Great. I'll save my spam for later here. Big head ads, the best kind. Let me try to pick up some of those sweet late game cipher buffs. Freezing Rake. It's gonna get to go before this goes off.
Still got it. Might as well be hitting the water. Shiza, straight.
Ads are dead. That's good. Still in range of the ice ball.
Something I can do.
What can I do for you? Can he pull the boss? Because that would be great. I got to lower their guard effect on it at least. That's nice.
Stay behind me. I need something stronger.
Oof. Hey, Ishiza hit pretty hard actually. Impressively, so. This would be good if I had an AoE fight here. Rage cost is reduced. No, I don't want that. 29. Now is as good a time as any. Oh, I didn't end up eating food. Shit. I was gonna try to do that before I walked in here. It would help a bit here.
Absolutely.
Just like that.
Zuka's new. Major Grimoire imprint, wilting wind. It's raw damage on anyone in the area, leaving them weakened. Damage seems good against a dude like this. Resists basically all afflictions, so.
Can't make a dent, Captain.
Reaping knives. Generate focus, that seems pretty good. To target this on an ally, right?
Your orders? For the homeland. Might as well be hitting the water.
Weakened actually landed, interesting. I think my blades spawned. See them though. Oh, they're on air. Maybe I don't understand this ability. This is summon weapon. I guess I'll figure it out.
I'll be chopping you to chum.
Oh?
All afflictions except Constitution. I see. Sure, it'd be really nice to be able to interrupt the boss, right? Stun. Fit inspiration. Oh, spell got interrupted. Bummer.
What do you need? That wasn't half bad.
Cool. Shock that worked. Whoa. More ads. This is bad.
Speak freely. Your orders?
You need to start being on interruption duty.
Still got it.
Well, it worked, but it had
Yes?
concentration.
What do you need?
Ow, 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 ow.
I'm on it. I trust you.
Oh, there the blades went off, I see.
Yeah.
Him parrot. It would be so nice if I could immunity to doesn't say will. Intellect afflictions. Join me, asshole.
Freely. For the homeland.
Let's try casting this again. I think I lost my last cast because I got stunned. Region crap. Dominated, nice. Try to keep this one alive to help me out.
Absolutely. Exactly. Something I can do.
Let's try knocking him down, I guess.
You were saying? For the wrong and new.
I think I have to kill the ads, otherwise the boss is in a region every turn until they go down. So I think that's what the mechanic is here. Heavy amount of raw damage to the target.
Try something else.
What do you need?
This guy's not low enough for the devastating blow to really be useful yet. I appreciate it, man. He's gonna heal all that damage, but try to keep you dominated for as long as possible.
Might as well be hitting the water.
He full heals now. That sucks. How about a really basic cast to save some of your spells for when the dragon wakes up? I'm concerned that this thing has to die for him to come up. It doesn't count if he's dominated. I kicked the dragon. What a goof. Alright, so this Brilliant Inspiration gives you back class resource, among other things, right?
Your orders. For the wrong and new.
The chance to. Oh, that's neat. It has two heads now.
What for, Cap? I'll be chopping you like flogging a figurehead. Futile.
Burning these.
Speak freely. For the wrong and new.
Big ow. Should have brought some healing pots since I don't really have a traditional healer in this group.
I'll be seeing you soon.
That stunned me. That wasn't good.
This thing isn't doing the job. Hey there.
This is the one that heals, I think. No, it's this one. No, he's the one with the ice ball. So, what are the Constitution afflictions? Weakened. Has to be felled to get a bonus there. Hobble. Freeze damage to creatures in the path. Freeze damage. Enfeebled, sickened, and weakened.
I need some help here.
Hater's in big trouble.
For the homeland.
Fortunately, I can't re-dominate the Sentinel because he's stunned. So, Alos about to have a bad day. I thought the parrot was going to get the finishing blow there.
There's something we don't see every day.
That sucked.
Absolutely. Yeah?
Used. What am I sitting on? Minor healing. Plus 42 health. I think that uses a turn though, right? Standard action. The alternative is that he dies, so. Could use Empower to get some abilities back, but I don't know what I would take here.
Hey. Yes?
Bad turn for the hero. Let's keep trying this Ray of Fire. This is about to be bad. So boss probably has tons of concentration, right?
Can't get a clean speak freely.
Miss, bummer. It's about to be bad. I think it's a delayed fireball. Fix. Don't think I need to empower it.
Captain.
That gives him a ton of resource, okay. I think running away from the fireball might result in more damage than just eating it.
Yes? Of course.
How may I help?
I gotta find a spell that's actually gonna work here. It's pretty resistant to everything. Can I summon multiple sets of tentacles? Seemed like that was actually pretty good. Let me get something that's doing stuff while I'm doing stuff. Hero's probably about to die. If I disengage, I'm definitely about to die.
Sure. This is not what usually works.
Just trying to move around and away from the fireball if I can.
Just like
Something works.
Captain.
Immune, resists perception. Immune to intellect. They don't want you to dominate the boss. Okay, that's fair. I don't know, the fact that that fireball's taking so long to go off makes me think it's probably nastier than I thought. So maybe I will take the disengage attack even though it's gonna suck really bad.
Everything hurts.
Yeah, it sucked really bad.
Yeah?
I don't even know if I'm far enough away from it for it to count. Let's see. Thanks, Guardian of Ukaizo. I don't know what you're doing over there. I'd love you to attack the boss, though.
Speak freely.
Try to place this somewhere where it's not going to hit the allies, right? Maybe easier said than
For
done.
the homeland. Can't get a clean hit.
Got a little phantom. Try to keep spamming the knockdown. Dang. Beat him up. Nice. Nice. Should have dominated both of them. Had issues with Seraphim now. Next attack made during the sprint gains a large amount of accuracy.
Something I can do?
Keep knocking him down, apparently. It's his last time he can do that. Okay. He can't escape out of range, so that's nice. Dominate and charm. Stun and deal raw damage. Interrupt nearby enemies. What kind of affliction is stun? I could see it being might or dexterity. Dex. So he only resists it. Give it a try. Probably should use Gaunt's Pledge to heal though. Let's do that instead. Keep Seraphim up to be ready to dominate the Guardian when it wakes up. It's might? Okay, thanks.
For the wrong end. Might as well be hitting the water.
Dex is paralyzed. So I could technically use the ice ball on him and maybe get a paralyze off. I could have before. Now I can't.
Yeah?
Let's resource here. Let's see. Hold on to my mule kick if I can.
Can't make a dent.
What for, Captain?
This guy's still dominated, so that's a good sign. Experiencing damage all over again. I might actually be good on this particular boss.
I'm listening. For the wrong and Nui.
I think I just gave him a buff because of wild magic. Oof. Energized. Yes, attack the ad. That seems great. That looks like an attack that he's doing right now. Only interrupts nearby enemies, not the direct target. I could still hope the stun just lands, but it's gonna go off after the boss does his thing. I think I need to grant the inspiration to folks here. Try giving it to her. Aloth, you gotta get a dodge, buddy. Chaotic Orb is enemies only. Oh, that's better for AoE, I guess, because it bounces between multiple enemies. I thought you enjoyed it, Dooms a lot. I tried to do it within 24 hours of the original stream. Oh, that was a tail attack. I thought he was about to breathe, or I would have moved them out of the way. Shoot. Just gained 4 stacks of concentration.
What do you need?
I think I'm gonna end this fight.
Need something stronger.
Your orders?
Okay, so she only got 2 bond here. Within Hierarch.
For the Ranganui.
Yeah, I probably have to try this again and prep better next time. And we've got new ads. Tried dominating the new ad. Oh, I don't have any resources, that I just spent all of them. Shoot. Looks like his skull count is down, though. That's a good sign.
How may I help? Yes?
How does Spellbane work? Let's see. Target with spells, 6 rounds. If I can see more info about that. So like, could I suck up combat spells against the character or something? Stay down there, buddy.
This thing isn't doing the job.
Possible for paralyzed to land. It's not immune to dexterity afflictions. Didn't work. Did a small amount of damage. Guys, all my DPS.
I've got this, Captain.
Value from these tentacles. One shots this boss and skips the phase transitions. Wow. It's nuts. Don't think I'm gonna get a chance to interrupt him before whatever he's casting goes off. Would have if the turn order had been a little different. Reduced healing. Inflicting stun. I really need that to land. Where's this smite afflictions? Nope. Seraphim, that's really bad, buddy. You gotta get out of that.
Can't make a dent.
That wasn't great. Also not great.
For the
Need you to puppet master this thing again, please. Why don't you get further away from that scary purple orb first? There you go. Don't hit that guy. Oh, good timing on the ad wasting its turn. I like that they give you a big reward for having charm abilities in this fight. It's cool. Frightens enemies. Probably not going to work.
Absolutely never happens.
Yeah, I know, right? High value.
What for, Captain?
Not great damage.
Yeah?
Wish I still had the knockdown.
This thing isn't doing the job.
It's better. Turns hostile effects on allies in the area.
For the homeland.
It's a difficulty thing, maybe. It's about to be bad. It's too bad I'm not going to get someone who can take a turn to dispel it. The hero might go down, but Dominate might be enough to get me through the fight. Stay. So it'd have been nice to have that thing that triggers when you die, right?
I shall deal with this one.
Need something stronger.
That's an attack. Damn. Seraphim still doesn't have enough for another Puppet Master, is what I was trying to go for there. Should have it next turn, though.
Not my best moment.
You're saying? Ha! You see that, Ishi?
That giant purple fireball actually miss. I missed that. Don't kick the boss. Big old goof. Reforge the flesh. Oh, that was why I had that reforge thing that turns you into a steel when you're like near death. You turn into a steel thing that can't be hit, and then you come back and heal afterward. I was super lucky.
Can't make a dent.
Yeah, I'm trying though. That is a tail swipe. I know this now. Probably not going to be able to get away in time. I don't think I can have anything that can stun him. Stop him from doing that. Yeah. I think the hero and Ader are about to die, and I don't think there's much I can do to stop it.
Captain. I've got this, Captain. Can't get a clean hit.
Bye, Ader. You did good. She resisted Puppet Master. Okay. 29, that's a really bad amount of focus. I'm probably going to need to refresh Dominate on the Sentinel next turn. That was pretty good. Yep. So I'm going to have to deal with the Sentinel attacking me for another turn here. That's right, Ader gets to get back up, doesn't he?
Yeah.
It's like his thing.
May I be a candle in the night.
Speak freely. Might as well be hitting the water.
Ouch.
Afflictions are in for a walloping.
Cannot kill this hierarch. I've been trying.
This thing isn't doing the job. What for, Cap?
I'm so close to being able to redominate it. It's so bad. Next turn's gonna have to be.
Speak freely. I've got this, Captain.
Near death, it says. Oh, don't buff the boss.
How may I help?
Hey, the debuff they put on Aloth is finally gone. So where I wish I still had a devastating blow, I could probably finish the boss off with it.
What for, Cap?
Whatever you're currently casting seems extremely bad. I think it has so many stacks of concentration. Yeah, 6 stacks of concentration. We're not doing the interrupt thing, that's not happening.
More orders?
Robust! No! Stop that.
For the homeland. Might as well be hitting the water.
Obliterate essence. Please don't hit me.
Rather difficult to concentrate.
I'll be fine.
That didn't feel great. Pro damage, potentially destroying those that are near death.
I shall. Hey there.
Just like
Try something else.
I'll probably eat this Angwithan Hierarch's corpse whenever they finally die.
Yeah?
Oh, that sucks. On the turn I'm casting Death Ring,
you were saying?
and it missed.
Ashiza, strike. Might as well be hitting the water.
How may I help?
You need to run away from all the bad. It did kill the ad, I saw that. Anyone caught in the area of effects. I get somewhere past Ader here. Killed the scariest ad, which is nice. Prone. I was able to knock the boss down before. I assume that's not very good, though. Cannot miss and will reliably interrupt.
This is futile.
What do you need? Stay behind me.
Alright. Oh, does he add, like, lock down or something? There he goes. You gotta do all the damage here, add. Fortunately, he's got this, like, courageous inspiration that's kicking my ass right now. I don't have enough to redominate him. Dominate didn't last as many turns that time. Just hide as much as possible.
Speak freely. For the homeland. Might as well be hitting the water.
To fucking destroy Aloth. Bye, Aloth.
To my limit.
Yeah?
God, I wish if I could only have finishing blow. That would be great. Beat up the parrot, that's fine. I don't think the parrot's taking any damage this whole fight.
For, Cap. Try to be keeping up.
Just barely not getting enough resource here whenever I attack.
This thing isn't doing the job. We're losing folks.
Nice hit for 54. That's what we need to see more of.
For the homeland.
Hit for 48 too. That was a crit.
Something I can do.
Living the dream. Ooh, that was good too. Hater. You're making up for your crap. Get him? Nice. Now I have to kill the statue, right? Easier said than done. Shaken and confused, charming them. What's the difference between charm and dominate?
Speak freely. For the Ranganui.
I think this thing is melee only, so if I can stay out of its range, I might be able to win. Charm breaks when it takes damage. But I can get him to like skip his turn effectively and have everyone else run away to safety. Oh, it's not on? Okay. I'll check that when his turn comes back up here in a sec. Thanks for the heads up.
Another tack, Cap.
What do you need?
Oh shit, I thought I had these on all the time. Good looking out.
Hey, whose side are you on?
Speak freely. Might as well be hitting the water.
She's gonna die to the backfire effect on her rifle. Dominate's probably the way to go, because it can be damaged without being knocked out of it.
For the homeland.
Captain.
Run away!
You trying to start
Oh, I moved too... not that far away. A little bit, though. Oh, she really is gonna kill herself with that. That would be awful. Okay, they both have some healing pots, so I can try to use those.
I'll be chopping you to chum.
And try to make sure I've got enough focus.
I'm listening.
I think I have to crit, though, to get enough focus, right?
Still got it.
That was pretty good. Basically need to crit here.
Understand?
Watch me work.
Guess you don't get focus for attacking an ally. Yeah, I just noticed that.
I'm listening. Can't get a clean hit.
Oh, the music calmed down to the normal battle music.
For, Cap.
That's funny.
Watch me work.
Next turn I should be able to redominate him.
I'm listening.
What for, Cap?
I think it's probably safest just to keep him dominated, even though I could probably kill him faster with something else.
I'm listening.
This is great though, I'm really glad that there's a fight that's this challenging towards the end of the main story.
Ashiza, strike.
She kills herself from the backfire effect. Uh-oh. Forgot you could do that.
Everything hurts, savvy.
It was a bad turn for me. And I lost my dominate too.
Oh, that were a beaut.
Speak freely. Ashiza, strike. Seraphim, stand up, you dirty flea bag.
By Seraphim.
Captain. Can't get a clean hit.
You need to be as far away from this guy as
I'm
possible.
listening. Speak freely. For the homeland.
Fighting magic. Thank God this thing doesn't have a. Oh God. Oh no.
Speak freely.
Okay. Because if it only moves and doesn't attack, then that can happen. Oh, I'm fucked, because he's gonna be able to reach me no matter what I do here. It's depending on initiative. I might be able to end turn without attacking and then get more distance. Okay. Whew. Not as fucked as I thought I was gonna be. So I gotta figure out a safe pattern here.
Speak freely.
So thank God it doesn't have a ranged attack, is what I was going to say.
You were saying?
I don't know if I can get it caught on like a edge or something.
I'm listening.
Okay. So as long as it doesn't go twice, I think I can shoot safely and then run.
I'm listening. Captain.
One of these turns, the math's gonna work out that if I move and stop, it's still gonna get 2, and it's gonna come and hit me for 180 damage and stun lock me, right?
I'm listening.
Okay. I think I can do this almost indefinitely, we'll see.
I've got this, Captain.
So it would be great if I still had more of these evasive fires, right? Come up just short of me.
Your orders?
He had some minor healing potions, only heal for like 20. I should have been able to keep him alive, but I forgot that Puppet Master wasn't gonna go off in time.
Speak freely. I've got this, Captain. Might as well be hitting the water.
That sucks. I'm gonna end up making mistakes here with the computer getting to, yep, walk straight at me, right? Oh God. Can I survive a disengage? I'm gonna have to. Oh, it missed. Wow.
You were saying?
Did not deserve that. Just down to these minor healing pods, right? Basically, I need to try to move in a way that the computer is going to be forced to follow up to me straight, I think. We don't want the computer to be able to cut corners on its way to me.
Your orders? Speak freely.
How much room do I have to move up through here? Oh, I guess that would be a dead end. Be careful.
For the Ranganui.
Shots do I have left to kill this thing? I might be able to lure it in a Pattern up here. Hold on.
Captain. Your orders?
Go this way, around tree branches.
Speak freely. I've got this, Captain.
Got this, Maya. This is extremely stressful. Oh no, it's close enough. Didn't realize he wasn't able to reach me there. It's about to hurt. Ow.
Captain.
I'm gonna end up dying. It's too bad I fucked up Seraphim, because that would have been the money right there to not do that wrong what you did.
You were saying? For the homeland! Might as well be hitting the water.
You really need to crit. It's really bad if I don't crit. They might be able to reach me again. Ever since it got up to me that one time, I've lost my advantage over it. Alright, I gotta heal this time. This is my last chance to heal.
Speak freely.
Let me try just ending turn without healing and see if I get a net initiative advantage. I think she has critted before. Yeah. Crits Anglican Sentinel. That's when I do like 42 damage. This is a problem when I have to run past it like this.
I'm listening. You were saying?
Let's see.
For the homeland! Can't get a clean hit.
This is super stressful. It's turn-based encounter here.
Captain?
I cannot, no. I could earlier, but I've used all of my resources. They're all gone.
I'm listening. Captain?
So keep running, actually. Well, no, I don't think that makes sense.
Ashiza, strike! Can't get a clean hit.
Please don't get a double move. Uh-oh. Please don't be able to reach me.
Your orders?
This is so stressful.
Speak freely. You were saying? For the homeland! Can't get a clean hit.
It's gonna be like 2 more hits, maybe?
Your orders? You were saying?
Probably the first time I've ever had my heart rate go up from a
I'm listening.
turn-based RPG.
Ashiza, strike.
Oh, that was a nice 51. Alright. Next time she gets to go, as long as she doesn't miss, I think the battle's over. Still gonna try to play it safe. This could be bad. Oh, Jesus. Did not deserve that. Oh, but I might not be able to sneak past him anymore. Can't really tell what counts as engaged.
You were saying?
Just play it as safe as possible, run as far away as you can.
Captain. For the homeland. Can't get a clean
Thank
hit.
God. Boss wakes back up. New form. Damn, that was nuts.
What an easy
What
win!
an easy win. Save. Save the game, please. Yes, thank you. Imagine if I had food buffs for that. I didn't realize stepping forward was going to trigger all this bullshit. Game crashes. Had a couple close calls there with kiting the boss for the ad. If I just had a priest or any kind of healer. That was pretty scary. Alright, let me finish leveling people up. Well, actually, before I do that, let's go ahead and rest. Corpse Loaf. Now's the time to use good shit. Stuff that costs a lot. Plus 10 all defenses, plus 2 all skills, 25% max health. Courage, Constitution, and Might. Make sure I do actually have the corpse loaves here. I haven't had anything in the main story that was that nuts as far as how challenging that was. It's pretty cool. Convert some hits to crits. Mostly using his cipher spells for dominate, so I guess hitting and critting isn't really relevant there. Reflex up. Concentration would be nice. He's gotten hit by that before. Bluff. Focus Rage would have been nice. Blend Tenacious. Water Dragon drew it away. Wonder why that didn't happen, because I definitely got the Water Dragon on my side earlier. Disengagement attacks are pretty good if you can force them to happen. Probably might, well, say, should I drop Maya, but she was the MVP. This party's not great against fights that we can't end in the first 2 turns. Oh wow, there's a lot of stuff here. Right, Dominate was what won that. Removing an enemy from DPSing everyone and having it DPS the boss. It's an in-game setting. I just have big head mode. Helps me to differentiate the characters better.
I suppose we're heading straight into that.
Erosion has softened the bronze features, giving the proud statue a brooding air. Descending into the city would be suicide. That was a really long time ago. So, here we are. How are you feeling about all this, Ader?
Gilded Vale got its name from the way the wheat fields used to look in the sun. But this place really is gilded. Might as well be a different world.
The way it was before it ended.
Yet here we are, all the same. These great people got a funny way of passing on. They disappear from the world, but leave their problems behind for the rest of us to deal with.
Aetha seems to be trying to correct that.
He does. I guess he's got that over the rest of them. God of redemption, trying to redeem the gods. What a mess.
You're looking thoughtful, Aloth.
5 years ago, you controlled the destiny of thousands of souls in Sun and Shadow. But the choice you make today shall define the fate of every living thing in Aora.
Stakes have been raised. Responsibility to do right by the world and make the best decision I can.
I know you will. I know you'll choose wisely. And no matter what happens, it's been an honor journeying with you. Again.
Any thoughts, Maya?
Here we stand on Lost Ukaizo.
You expected more?
My parents gave me an earful about the horizon-spanning beaches and towers reaching beyond the stars. All I can see is good folk tussling over a wasteland. Time to confront Aethys, hopefully for the last time. You know what you're doing?
It's humbling to stand here. Look at what we
No time to
accomplished.
waste, then. I'm about as ready to confront a god as I'll ever be. We're doing good work here. Setting foot on Ukaizo is a statement that no one can ignore. You should be proud. Captain, you got us here in one piece. If there's a better compliment out there, I don't know what it is.
Seraphin, you look troubled.
I look back, and I ain't but half sure how we got ourselves here, Cap.
On a boat. What do you
Coming out
mean?
here lean and lonesome, sailing us through that mother of storms, landing us here. Wherever here be, give a second and a half on you, you do. No denying that.
Glad you're here.
Trying to seduce me, Cap. Somebody had to be keeping your spectre-speaking ass alive. Let's get to doing whatever fool thing we came here to do.
I love Seraphin. I'm glad he's been in my party for most of the game. Yeah. Even though I can't leave Ukaizo, I can still go back to the ship and change party members in case I get to a fight that this group is really, really, really bad for, right? I like how they leave most of this place to your imagination. You can tell the writers imagine something a little bit more gold, maybe? Oh, there's more gold here, okay. Based on what Ader said. Oh, it was a bug that you could look at the Guardian fight. That's a pretty cool boss fight. The device atop the tower spins in wild, luring revolutions. The air around it is still and calm. We stand in the eye of the storm, which has cordoned off Andra's mortar and the rest of Aora for thousands of years. Aethys rears back his fist to deliver a mighty blow. Deactivate the machine. Use storm machine.
The machine controlling the storm winds down. The clattering of its machinery settles into a low whir and then, at last, hiccups to a halt. Beyond the tower, the black, roiling clouds of Andra's mortar roll away from the ancient city of Ukaizo, with only a tired sigh of wind to see them off. And on that last breath of wind comes to you a familiar sound. The ring of a bell. The bell's ringing is soft, not the clangor and torrent you've grown used to. It calls to your soul, and your soul yearns to follow it. Your soul flees from your body and into the beyond, chasing that sound. It leads you at last to Bareth's realm, to that cold platform and
It's from the
room of
very
endless
beginning of the
doors.
game.
Watcher, your journey nears its conclusion.
The Pallid Knight stands before you, her gaunt face impassive.
Got an engagement with a living statue, and I don't want to be late. We'll come after
That
this.
will depend on the will of Kith, whose desires are ever in flux. Soon you will confront Aethys for what will likely be the final time, and you will do so as the Herald of Bareth, the only creature on the face of Aora to whom he will listen. Remember that.
The Pallid Knight inclines her head to you, black hair hanging lank in her face. She steps back and cedes the floor to Helia with a small, resigned sigh.
If Aethys truly intends to go through with his mad plan to destroy the Wheel, a generation's worth of souls will be trapped in the in-between.
Will they,
So
though?
many would suffer. How can Aethys be so cruel? He cannot just abandon them. Aethys must help the Kith find a quick solution.
Abaddon strides forward.
Aethys thrust this crisis on the Kith. They did not bring it upon themselves. Their only mistake was entrusting us to watch over them.
Helia,
We'll
not
help them
Hylia.
rebuild their world now.
Aethys will reveal every secret of the gods. Will Kith be able to change the established order if they have no wonder to inspire them?
I've actually, like, all the way been on Aethys' side since the volcano, since slightly before the volcano. Did Aethys leave this decision solely to Kith?
You have misgivings. Good. You should be wary of any help Aethys might offer you. With the wheel destroyed, Kith will tear themselves apart. It is the gods' duty to prevent that happening, lest they doom us all. And as Kith must be ruled, so too must the gods. I say that if Aethys is so eager to throw down the mantle of power and step aside, I shall take my rightful place as Queen of the Gods again.
Kith are strongest when they follow our lead, and we are strongest when we lead in turn. United in purpose with the gods, Kith can accomplish things that without us, they could never have even begun. They must be shown their boundaries to surpass them.
Kith will not solve Aethys' puzzle on their own. And without an established order to fight against, the bonds that bind them dissolve, and they fight amongst themselves.
How can we trust you to lead us after this?
You cannot trust us, and you never should have. Only the Kith may save themselves.
Boudica's firm hand is but the motherly smothering of Helia by another name. Mortals should have no special advantages. Only once Kith have striven to improve themselves through trial will they truly know their measure. Kith must suffer to find their strength if they are to survive the world into which Aethys drags them.
I feel like how much God stuff is in this.
Our intervention in your struggle
Like interacting directly with them.
and counter to our purpose.
He lets his words hang in the air for a moment. Gaze level with your own.
Indeed. Kith must discover for themselves what it is they are worth, and of what it is they are capable. What we do for them, they do not learn for themselves. Trial breeds ingenuity. If our work of generations was not in vain, Kith will succeed in spite of Aethys' actions.
Sovereign.
I have faith in Kith's ability to meet Aethys' challenge. Do not mistake my words for indifference, Watcher. They are born from a fierce belief in your potential, not a refutation of it.
Aethys wouldn't do this if he didn't agree with you. Maybe we're not doomed after all. Water's been dripping pessimism in my ear like poison. One of you has tried to convince me that mortals are destined to fail, but I don't believe it.
And yet you come to Okaizo alone, with none at your back. All that Kith stand to lose.
If I had come with a faction, would they have participated in the previous fight and future fights?
You believe that will change when my final death comes calling? You are a greater fool than I thought. Margaret is blinded by her affection for mortals. She does not see that entropy is the destiny of all things. If Aethys were wise, he would destroy everything. End life, end reincarnation, end death. Kith have had their chance. It is time to let silence reign.
I love that. That shit's great.
As Rimergon's words fade, the Pallid Knight returns. She no longer towers over you, a giant even among the gods, but meets you at your height. She lets the arms crossed over her chest fall to her sides. She speaks to you openly, plainly, an expression almost like tenderness, turning up the corners of her lips.
It's creepy. It's like the scene where Wednesday has to smile in Addams Family Values.
Well, Watcher, you know where we stand. What do you believe?
That's happened. Everything that will happen is the gods' fault. Without you. True change, lasting change demands sacrifice. Let's go with the sacrifice one. Oh, there's a more fun Thim of the Billion questline. If you mouth off to him, he kills you instantly. That's great.
You do not sacrifice all, Watcher. Only what you must. The things you stand to lose.
It's too bad about that questline. I wanted to do it.
Beliefs, you may lose for good. Now the time has come for us to part, Watcher. I laid upon you a difficult duty, and you have discharged it well. You will be free of it in time, but not now. You have work to do yet. You are no stranger to hard choices. You killed Theos, and when his soul was laid bare before you, you chose to return it to the wheel. You made his memory his penance.
I don't know what it is about choice flag dialogue. You see the way that the character says it. It's like early expositive as you know dialogue in a Hollywood movie, right? Where someone's like, "Oh, as you know, your brother is the top FBI agent in the country," or whatever. Like, it's obviously necessary. It has to be there. It's not bad writing, but you can see that there's like this dialogue box should just be X, where X equals the decision you made about Theos in the first game if you played the first game, right? I don't know if it's possible to sneak in references to the choice flags without it being super obvious that that's what's happening. Like, it's really bad in Mass Effect. Like, in Mass Effect, the characters their heads will be bobbing, and then you'll, like, see them jerk into the scene that it's, like, loading for them to talk about a choice that you made. It's weird.
Remember the strength it took to
Yeah, I like the coming alone line. That felt better.
And know that you alone may sway Aethys now. When you stand before him, choose your words carefully.
I don't think it's bad. I just think it might be impossible to do in a way that's invisible.
The gods depart one by one in brooding silence. A solitary figure remains perfectly still until the last of her colleagues is out of earshot. Wodica peers down at you, a triumphant grin splitting her weathered features.
I think maybe the problem is when you make it too subtle, the player doesn't realize that dialogue was customized to their save file, which is why it usually takes the form of, "You saved the Arachnite Queen," right?
Gareth is a fool if she thinks I'll let her enjoy the last word.
Oh, sounds cool, Leon.
You were trusted with a heavy responsibility, Watcher. Speaking for mortals, and representing their interests in the future to come.
Had I been a Woodka Paladin, did my choices teach you anything about us?
Instead of working with mortals, you came this far on your own. You rejected.
Oh, that sounds like an awesome thread.
Idealism.
Spiky. Check that out after stream.
My every suspicion is confirmed. Society needs us. Eora searches for its queen and finds only an empty throne. I won't disappoint my subjects for long. Before we part, what compelled you to reject every dissenting voice and go your own way?
Trading companies in the Juana were all as petty and disagreeable as the rest of you. Yeah, a bug. Trusted myself to make the journey. Taking a break from being everyone's mediator. We go with say nothing.
Consider my curiosity appeased. For now, in our grandest plans, you are singularly unpredictable variable. Whether you heeded my wisdom or not, everything you've done to get this far has informed our view of mortal kind. I hope you're satisfied with your performance. We've learned much from each other.
Make a difference? Are mortals ready to own their destiny?
The trading companies, the locals, and even the pirates had desperate, half-cocked plans to counter this threat. You denied them all, rightfully judging mortals as ill-equipped to claim their destiny. I couldn't agree more. When at last I claim my place of leadership among you, the only challenge will be convincing the others to go along with my revised plan of Eora. Aethys will no doubt have a sunnier outlook on mortals and their chances of success. He already has everything he wants, so go and listen to his empty-headed idealism.
The Last Express is the greatest game ever made. Last Express has a lot of really interesting ideas that I haven't seen other games pull off.
The rest of us...
It risks a lot in the process, though.
Preparing for the future he lays out for us.
There's a lot that the player can permanently miss. Whoa! This must be this one in the volcano scene, like they're super proud of. Consciousness returns in a wave as the last of the machine's energy dissipates. Sand wiped from a mosaic.
You keep falling asleep on me, I'm gonna have to start walking behind you with a pillow. Oh, by the way, the storm's gone. Also, I think Aethys has ended in the world.
Hater's great. He takes a long draw from his pipe and nods as he stares at the Colossus in the distance.
It seems we're all still here.
If all your missions involve this many head wounds, then I volunteer to set the next one out.
In here with me thinking we were right and proper dead this time. We ain't dead, right?
A ragged ship is settled offshore where it lists as a drunken angle. Flag of the Principe drooping from the tilted mast. You're no longer alone on Ukaizo. Shit! Sigh and draw your weapon. Maybe they came to negotiate. Yeah. Ader's great in this. All the characters are really well written, I think. I'm interested in basically all of them. I'm sad that I burned through Shodi's story so early. I guess it didn't stop me from using other characters who I'd finished their plot lines.
Will my eyes be open?
Hey, it's Fronte.
So now it comes to this, Aimiko.
So, it has come to this.
You think to steal my golden dream, but I will not allow it to happen. My gratitude is yours for disabling the storms. It seems I did not require Rivan's ship to reach Ukaizo in the end.
Can't we make a deal?
Not on your soul. I have waited for this casita for far too long. Until the next life? Nor perhaps not, considering.
Based on faction stuff, who hates you the most? The Prince should be guaranteed to hate you the most if you stole the ship from them like that.
Hey. Yeah.
Being smart about not walking into the... Or he did.
You were saying? Right between the eyes. You were saying? Your orders? Just say the word. For the homeland!
Right. Me too, man. See that beauty of a hit, Maya?
There's something I can do. That must have hurt. I'm on it. Aye?
Lava will be on sinner. I'll teach you a lesson.
Whoops, I wasted one of those. Rebellions and... Oh, she joined them? Interesting. Had you made her mad in the course of the game up to that point? Ferrante's breastplate. Superb. Grants vigilance. Oh, that's kind of cool. Start with concentration. Gives nearby allies damage reduction. Wearer takes increased damage. That would have been cool to get sooner. Is it she always will join them if they're the bad guys? Or if they're the faction that attacks you, rather? Oh, you never piss off party members if you go alone. Interesting. Modweir's great.
You descend into the ancient winding streets of Ukaizo. Battered by storms for thousands of years, the ruins bear the marks of their role as the lone witnesses of the god's great secret at the center of the city. The houses and boulevards are pierced by great spears of luminous Audra. There are no ashen bodies, no birds, no sign or sound of any life.
It's a really cool painting there.
With every step, the rhythmic pounding in the distance draws nearer. Soon, you can feel the vibration traveling up your spine. As you approach the center of the city, the weathered architecture gives way to more luminous Audra, piercing the ruins, eventually overtaking them entirely. Cresting the top of a fallen tower, you finally get a clear view of Aethys. He stands, legs astride, next to a great stone monument ringed with 11 cavernous alcoves. All but 3 hold a gargantuan skeleton, bones scrubbed clean by the city's storms.
Is that a like plot thread, or is that something I should already know about? Why are there 3 missing giant skeletons? There's 11 alcoves. That's a very specific number. How many gods are there in this setting?
An immense Anguithan machine floats above the monument, suspended by
They wouldn't have
invisible energy
spooky skeleton
emanating from a well
bones.
of light beneath it. Great brass rings spin around a core of metal and Audra at the machine's center. Periodically, Aethys's massive arms swing back.
Yeah.
The movement alone is
Okay.
enough to
So
draw
there are
great
11
gusts
gods.
of wind toward him.
What would be the three
When they
missing
come
ones
down on the
then?
machine, the impacts are accompanied by eruptions of electricity, fire, and smoke.
Oh, that's cool.
The hundreds of luminous Audra pillars across Ukaizo sympathetically dim in a rippling wave that spreads out from the machine.
Man, I feel like the whole thing about there are 11 alcoves, all but 3 of them filled with gargantuan skeletons. It's like you're the DM and you're trying to like get the players to figure something out without telling them. You read that part really slowly, and then you hope that they get it. You don't have to tell them what it means. Everyone roll a knowledge check. All right, your characters know this, you idiots.
The only safe route to the god is a steep ascent along a monstrous pillar of luminous Audra.
One of the DLCs is about whales, but oh, that's cool.
Intertwined with fragments of Ukaizo's ruins that it is
Yeah, I'm still not super clear about how god bodies work,
towering
or god
above
death
the machine.
works.
The pillar levels out near Aethys's head, a silent observer to the destruction of the machine it has grown beside over thousands of years. You weave your way along a treacherous, rain-slicked path up the pillar's skyward side.
Yeah.
As you arrive at the top, you catch Aethys's attention. Fist pulled back, he pauses to observe you. With the same gentleness he showed.
What's up, Dr. Manhattan?
He lowers his arm and turns toward you.
Cool. Okay, so like at some point when the Anguithans first made the gods, they had giant titan bodies, and then eventually their bodies just gave out for whatever reason. But like part of the gods being created is that they funneled a shitload of souls, Final Fantasy XIV Shadowbringers style, into these entities, right? So they still have this big god soul that is able to reincarnate. So like if Aethys possesses a mortal Jesus style and then his mortal body dies, he could just go be a floating soul again and find something else to possess. They decided to abandon their bodies. Interesting. It's cool. This is such a cool setting. I hope that Skyrim looking game is neat. Gonna have a final boss conversation with Aethys? Or are we gonna poke him in the toe? Whoa, that's cool. Total quest XP 60,000.
It may be hard to picture, but this city was once full of life. The Huana, yes, but also Kith from many other cultures.
I didn't realize that affected the gods too, or I missed that. The whole point was to stop Aethys, keep him locked out.
Great hanging trees shadowed these boulevards. Gardens sprawled across the open rooftops. Each spring, a festival procession would wind its way from the hillside into this valley. The celebrants would pass through a steep walk among the stalls of foreign merchants, flowers falling upon them from all sides. All people of all nations, together in a celebration of new life. Such was the power and beauty of lost Ukaizo.
Wouldn't it be great if Aethys had a big head here?
This isn't right.
It was just the whole screen.
Burden on us. You can't make the gods' problems, our responsibility to fix. How can you have faith that what you're doing is good? You know how many people are going to suffer because of this. No matter how you spin this, you can't set it straight.
Adair, I wish I could explain it to you. It breaks my heart that I cannot. But no matter how much you curse me, do not despair.
I don't know if I can put this thought into words, but it occurs to me that, like, the human form is so arbitrary, right? Since we happen to evolve from apes. So we have this layout to our bodies, but we could just as easily have been fish people or jellyfish people. But it's kind of neat that, like, when you're depicting a god, you picture this, like, big, naked Dr. Manhattan hairless ape thing. that's covered in green Audra and all these little statues. Like, I'm just looking at his nose, and it's like, what if we were a species that didn't have a nose? We really just, like, think about the human form as the default, don't we? And we struggle to imagine things outside of that. I guess you get bubbly, goopy, Lovecraft well god in this game. They're not all humanoid.
The souls of this world will need people like you. Lights burning brightly in the darkness to come.
I was under the impression that Theos, like, he didn't stop the wheel, didn't break it, but he, like, paused it indefinitely.
Ain't never chatted up a god before. Feel like I should be asking something profound and philosophical.
Nahanar does a good job with it. Actually, Mass Effect in general does a pretty good job.
And yet, thing I'll be wanting to know, what be stopping the other gods from coming down and just setting this shit back straight, and then you breaking it again. This be our new tides, then, all up and down, over and over, till the sea drowns us all.
Yeah, no, with him it makes sense because it's this giant statue that was built of a hairless ape person. But all the other gods, I guess, like to look vaguely humanoid. And it's like, okay, you look like some kind of demon monster with fire hair, but you're still shaped like a hairless monkey.
A wise question, Seraphim. Have no doubt, some of the gods are already trying to figure out a way to fix this on their own.
I love Aethys, he's the best.
It is not beyond their capabilities. After all, we made these machines with the Huana many years ago. But it is not something they can do.
I do like
easily.
that he's an Oryx, yeah, it's
not
cool.
Without mortal assistance.
There's an Oryx, and then there's a bubbly Nyarlathotep Lovecraft god. Well.
What right do you have to do this? Destroy the wheel and leave us with nothing? Without even knowing what will come next?
Aloth, we are all gods and mortals, responsible for our own actions.
This is a decent mix. I mean, it's not a complaint, it's just it's interesting to me.
But inaction carries its own moral responsibility. It is a burden I have carried for far too long.
And I think it works particularly well in Pillars of Eternity because humanoid creatures created the gods, that those gods would be made in the image of the humanoid creatures. But what's compelling to me is the idea that when human cultures imagine what a god would look like, it's almost always an up-jumped humanoid form, right? Maybe because we're doing the same thing, we're making our own gods.
One must always do as their conscience dictates, even if that means abdicating a position of power.
Yeah, you're right, Dooms. It is both a creative challenge and it is an audience challenge, that it's difficult to come up with something that's not derivative of human culture. It's also challenging to get an audience to understand what the fuck you're talking about if it's not derivative of human culture.
Rauatai gave everything they had to reach this place. In the end, they fell short of hitting the mark. Will we ever have another chance to prosper? Or was this damn island our last hope?
Only you can answer that question, Maya. Rauatai has persevered through great adversity.
There's some pretty alien shit in the Old Testament, yeah. The Ezekiel chariot thing.
The storms that ravaged your homeland have ended. But that in itself may present new challenges for your people. It is my hope that after I am gone,
it's a struggle with their science fiction Dooms.
Together with its rivals to create a new world, instead of fighting over the ruins of the old. But what of you, Watcher? Why have you followed me? Have you come to bear witness to the breaking of the wheel?
And the mortals of this world. Gods will go to war with each other and with mortals unless they have a strong leader. Mortals are going to need a head start on things to prevent the gods from reestablishing control. You need to inspire them. I want you to go further than breaking the wheel. I want you to destroy it all. I've come to fight you. I wonder if that even works.
Mortals are already inspired. It is what has pushed them on for hundreds of generations to reach this point in time. Animancy is poised to go far beyond what we Ingwithans ever discovered.
I guess my way of thinking about it is that if a work that's supposed to be describing something that's alien or fantastical or spiritual or godlike or whatever is derivative of human culture, that's fine. That's just the default. It's not something to criticize a work for. It's just how people write. if it manages to describe something that's truly alien, I think it is deserving of additional praise.
Why does Helia think I
you
should
die
grant
if you
more
push the
power
fight
to
option.
mortals?
How does it work? Do you just get a game over screen, or does it actually start a fight and he one-shots you? I believe in Kith. I believe in our potential to do good in this world. I want to ensure the gods don't have the upper hand in the struggle to come. Let's go with that.
It's true that even with all the advances in animancy, the gods will enter into
Is he like sad like Dr. Manhattan blowing up Rorschach?
From where should mortals draw their inspiration?
Yeah, that's cool. Lessons from history or imagination and inventive spirit to the future.
Very well, Watcher. I will ensure that mortals are inspired by my passing, that my power not be expended in vain. Indulge me in a moment's curiosity.
It really does feel like a final boss conversation.
About Aora, about Kith, that I can only learn through your eyes.
Aethys, the great and terrible, needs something from me. What could I know that you don't?
You followed me all this way, dodging an armada, navigating an impenetrable wall of storms, voyaging across uncharted seas, besting a guardian who existed to bar your trespass, with the machinations of gods echoing in your ears. And you did so on your own. That is no small achievement. Kith across Aora will hear the tale of it and look to you with awe.
Props to them for coming up with a word that means the sapient humanoid races.
I believe that mortals possess the strength to collaborate and shape a future of their own design. Not all of my brothers and sisters agree. I had hoped your actions would set an example for the future, demonstrating the resilience and ingenuity of mortals when they work together. Coming to Ukaizo unencumbered by alliances proves a different point than the one I intended, but it is a valuable one all the same.
That's cool.
What inspired your decision, Watcher? Did the choice echo your foundational beliefs, or were you influenced by observation?
Mortals could work through their petty differences. I didn't have time to wait for them to see reason. I thought Woodaka made a good argument. Collaboration is fine, but would Kith require a guiding hunt? Yeah, definitely not that one. I didn't come with the Deadfire to settle the problems of others. No. Work alone, I don't owe you an explanation. Say the petty differences one.
I thank you for your perspective. Yours is not the only opinion that concerns me, but for the moment, it offers much to consider. All I ever wanted for mortals was growth, transformation. Once, my brothers and sisters shared this goal. Some have forgotten themselves, giving into fatalism or tyranny. Others have succumbed to apathy. It brings me great sorrow that crisis is the only way to set the future in motion. Would that I could pass the responsibility.
He's like a mix of Ozymandias and Dr. Manhattan.
To another. You shirked the aid of others and came this far alone. But I think you'll find that the future is built on trust, cooperation, and understanding among Kith.
What happens next?
I must attend to my final work now. I cannot delay any longer.
Different voice lines. I don't know if this is audible on stream because I have the decibels turned down a bit, but it's like they're coming from different parts of my headphones. It's like they recorded them in different sessions or something.
You have carried a heavy burden across the Deadfire, Watcher. Before I go, I would rid you of it.
The knot that formed when the Pallid Knight first addressed you in the Beyond is now gone. Thanks, dude.
You are free now. As free as any of us can be.
Not bound to Barroth.
Many will come to you for help in the years ahead. Animancers, priests, even the gods themselves. I have great hope for you. But always remember that your future is for you to decide.
Oh shit.
Aethys squares himself to the machine. As
The end
you
of the
move
beginning.
to a safe distance, he draws his fist back and resumes his assault. The blows rain down with increased fervor, but the machine perseveres in spite of his efforts. Spreading his arms wide, Aethys draws power from the luminous Audra clustered around the valley. The energy courses through his body, limbs overflowing with intense light and waves of heat. He returns to his task, each strike bringing with it the sound of cracking stone and twisting metal, the flickering of luminous Audra across Ukaizo. As the ancient machine finally begins to succumb to his strength, so too does Aethys' body, built to withstand the passage of thousands of years. The great Audra statue has finally been pushed beyond its limits.
Cool.
Cracks appear along the hands, then race up the arms. Aethys does not slow his assault, but continues unabated. Its brass rings twisted. The machine spins erratically but withstands the relentless barrage.
And then he just punches it to
Aethys
death.
stands astride it and
It's a literal
pummels
wheel.
the base of the machine. Soul energy begins to flare out from the machine's heart, warping the air with the intense heat.
And Aethys punches
Aethys
reincarnation.
drives his right fist into the machine's center.
I kind of like that the wheel is a
core of
literal
metal
machine.
and Audra. The god lets out a deafening shout, something between a cry of anguish and a roar of exultation.
Nice. I thought there was at least some element of like it being a metaphor. Like, no, it's literally a thing
You see Aethys'
that you can
arm
break by punching it.
shatter
It's cool.
upward from his hand through his elbow. A flash of light and heat bursts from the core, accompanied by a cacophony of destruction. The moment passes as Aethys' shout echoes throughout the valley. Your eyes begin to recover.
Can you talk to him and stop him from breaking the wheel?
Is accomplished. The great machine of Ukaizo has been destroyed.
It's appropriate that this is text, though, given the inspiration from tabletop. I like it with the little painting and the narration.
As Aethys' voice fades, the enormity of what you've accomplished sinks in. You have confronted a god. You have rediscovered the ancient city where the wheel was forged, and you have seen the wheel shattered. What comes next is uncertain, but already the legend spreads of the Watcher, who survived Andra's mortar and stood toe-to-toe with Aethys.
I honestly wish more games would be willing to do this. Like I've said, I keep calling back to Mass Effect, but there's a lot of points, especially in Mass Effect 1, where the writer's vision does not match what the environmental artists ended up deploying. Like, the characters will describe things that aren't around you, right? It works when they are able to spend a ton of money on cutscenes and have a really close relationship between the writing team and the art team.
On your recommendation, Aethys disperses his essence, and that of the thousands of souls within him, to centers of knowledge and
Oh, that's the main choice.
Animancers, engineers, wizards, and scholars of all stripes make astounding breakthroughs in understanding and harnessing
So,
the phenomena.
he's going to blow up the wheel no matter what, and you're deciding what group of people gets like literal inspiration. Okay, soul energy.
While some of these developments prove beneficial to Kith, others are decidedly less so.
And you can say nobody gets it.
Such is the price of innovation. What remains to be seen is how, indeed whether, they will restore the cycle Aethys has broken.
They can't do it Pillars 3, right? It's impossible now. This is too impactful of a final choice. You would have to make multiple games, or you'd have to do some hand-wavy shit.
In reaching Ukaizo and facing Aethys,
Mass Effect 2
you
and
have
3 style.
accomplished the impossible. And you have done it without the assistance of the great powers of Deadfire.
Faction choice synergizes with your ending choice.
Capture the awe and imagination of a world
Your ending
that
plus
needs
Aliens,
heroes
Golden Age of
more than
Science. That's cool.
Some say your
So is fuck
intervention
everybody,
prevents Aethys from a far worse
destroy everything? Is that actually a real option?
Many believe you will be the salvation of Aora. With each day, your legend grows, as does the chaos in Deadfire.
It's cool to have like those axes. You destroy everything if you came alone. That's cool.
Ukaizo remains unclaimed, and the Afekia Channel becomes the site of a near constant battle as the Huana and the
When it
Rawatayans
destroy everything, is it literally, is it just silence? Like the world is destroyed and there's no souls, everything's gone?
The Huana call forth massive waves and beasts of the deep to sink their foes.
That's cool that they give that. That's the shoot the Star Child ending.
And while they chip away at one another, the Valians and the Principi pursue their own ends with increasing abandon. Emboldened by their rivals' distraction, the Valian Trading Company seizes territory and mines luminous Audra at a startling pace. Huana villages are left at the mercy of unscrupulous speculators, and resource-rich islands are swarmed and stripped.
That's not good.
To support their operations, the Valian Trading Company begins shipping ever greater quantities of supplies and luminous Audra to and from the archipelago. This attracts the attention of the Principi, who target these ships with increasing aggression. The promise of fat prizes draws even more pirates to their ranks. The Rawatayans, as well as the Huana, are too busy to stop them.
See, this is where this would work really, really well as an actual tabletop campaign where the DM can change what they're going to do next based on what the players choose, right? As a video game, this has to be the end of Pillars, unless if they start going back in time.
Despite other tensions across the archipelago, Port Maje remains a model of peaceful, productive cooperation between the Huana and the Valian Trading Company. Though they do not always agree, Governor Clario and Storm Speaker Ikawa work together for the mutual benefit of their people.
Do you get more of these based on the number of side quests that you did up to this point?
As the balance of power changes in Deadfire, so too does Nekataka transform.
Something that they added after everyone was really mad about the end of Mass Effect 3, they did the extended ending, which still wasn't great, but they tried, and they had a thing where they had a little bit of dialogue for like all of the little decisions you had made for each of the cultures. It was still, you're like, can't polish a turd, but I'm glad you gave it a shot at least.
With the major powers at one another's throats, Nekataka becomes a maelstrom of chaos. Spies and smugglers follow the flow of refugees into the city.
I guess if they make another one, they wouldn't let you import your save, basically.
Kaizo remains the coveted prize, and Nekataka fades into an afterthought.
Doing it as a timeline thing is an interesting concept, though, because then you could say, hey, we're going to bring you in, we're going to like import your character from the timeline with the decision that you made, and you're going to like teleport into the reality that we're going to progress the series from. So maybe we'll reference like, oh yeah, in your world you destroyed everything, or in your world you made a bunch of scientists and stuff. And that way you could preserve some of the decision without having to make like 7 different games.
Largely forgotten amidst more prominent concerns,
Entropy
the
ending.
gullet continues to be a miserable
No
place,
slides afterward.
especially for those Raparu who flee to Nekataka seeking a haven amidst the turmoil. For them, the Grand City is a promise cruelly broken.
Rest insects, tiny lives hardly miss until they're gone. That's great. What dies does not come back. That's awesome. I mean, I'm glad I didn't pick that because it's like so dark and nihilistic, but it's cool that that is an option.
The loss of Skiorelifus's essence weakens the Water Shapers Guild. Their power wanes, and
It
their
was the
influence
dragon that I
fades.
freed.
The art of water shaping survives as an arcane curiosity. Your brief encounter with Letharn proves deeply influential for the children of the Dawnstars. Plagued with nightmares and haunted by the deaths at Hesango, Letharn begins questioning his faith in Aethys. At first, his fellow Dawnstars chide him, but that changes as word of Aethys' deeds at Ukaizo spreads. After all, what business have they worshipping a god who denied his own legitimacy? The faith of the children of the Dawnstars fades, but their commitment to the people of Deadfire does not. They continue feeding, healing, and helping the neediest, just as they have for decades. It is no longer a holy mission, but it is a mission all the same.
So, this has been implied. Is it basically broadcast to everybody that, hey guys, the gods are fake? See ya. Also, through breaking the wheel, doesn't that mean the gods are gone? Because it sounded like one of the choices was to empower one of the gods, right? So maybe that you make it so that there's only one god that's left over, and is just like living on whatever souls it got redirected from Aethys.
Ruanu, the chieftain of
Deliberately not answered. Okay.
dies
It's just they mentioned that it's no longer a holy mission. I'm like,
finds
huh.
his body washed up on the same beach where Anaharu challenged him to the trial of waves. Some blame Anaharu's vengeful spirit. Others see it as Ngati's final judgment. And a few speak of a strange man seen lingering in the village. The leaderless tribe eventually scatters.
I guess that one
Some
specifically
head to
is the
Utah,
Aethys one, right?
while others seek out the Wahaki. Though your adventures alter the destiny of Aora and the balance of power in Deadfire, they also leave a lasting
It was
mark
the
on those who
Deadfire.
travel at your side. Your companions find themselves changed in ways both big and small. In the days sailing back from Ukaizo, Adair keeps mostly to himself, reflecting upon the new, fragile existence his god has forced upon the world. He decides that if he knows one thing about the gods, it is that they are already plotting, and greater calamities will certainly follow. Ultimately, he chooses to remain with you on the Defiant, knowing if any mortal is to have the final word in a conflict with the gods, it will be the Watcher of Cadnua.
So the reason the player character is important is because you've got Anguithans in you. Or you used to be an Anguithan or something. I'm also okay with you just became important because you did important shit. Okay.
Shodi is not a priestess who understands the meaning of subtlety. As such, she makes her girlish crush on Adair painfully obvious from the moment she first sets eyes on the strapping fighter.
Don't run into too many other
Early in your
watchers in this game.
Adair appears discomforted by her persistent flirting. He often grimaces when she sidles up to him, and he takes endless pains to keep their conversations terse and to the point. But after a little smoothing on your part to nudge them in the right direction, Adair makes an effort to view Shodi with an open mind. And Shodi begins teasing the veteran fighter in a more companionable and less amorous manner. After saving each other's hides a couple times and sharing more than a few laughs, the two form an easy, and you suspect, lifelong friendship.
Yeah, I thought I knew him in a past life because I was also Anguithan. Must be misremembering.
Seemingly lit with an inner glow, Shodi takes to a new life of mission work with gusto. She still is committed to shepherding souls forgone, but having realigned her goals with that of her fellow Dawnstars, she now endeavors to help the living as much as the dead. As you travel the Deadfire, you find her sleeping better and laughing more often. When the time comes for her to return to her temple in Nekataka, it's with a clear wistfulness and much lip-biting on her part. She leaves you with her sickle and a hastily scrawled note. It reads, "A keepsake from a path once walked. Remember me, Watcher, for I will forever dream of you."
Cool.
Aloth renews his commitment to
It's like Obsidian understands what their players want, right?
with the wheel broken.
The end of a
Loosening the
decision-based
God's
story.
stranglehold on Kith is more urgent than ever. It is a lofty goal.
This is more robust than the slides at the end of
But
Pillars
if
1,
there's
isn't
one
it?
thing he's learned from the Watcher, it's that a single person can change the world. Seraphin seems little impacted by your journey. Always knew the gods were larger than me, he tells you, on the evening he decides to part from your company. He's too long put aside those he cares most for. He confesses over a bottle of rum, and he's got leagues to sail to make it right. The following morning, he's gone, leaving only a crude stick figure rendering of Aethys, scrawled into the hull to mark his passage.
It's cool. Is the order of these based on the time I spent with the characters?
The Valian Trading Company is initially
I guess not, because I
furious when
spent
they
almost no
learned that
time with her.
Pallegina had assisted the Watcher in claiming Ukaizo. In the chaotic aftermath, the company takes a more nuanced view of Pallegina's actions. The turmoil in the region allows the well-organized company to seize a number of valuable assets from their competitors. Though Pallegina is not rewarded for her actions, nor is she punished, the Dukes and Songreta agree to forget her support of the Watcher. She is quietly reassigned to duty in the Valian Republics, an order she gladly obeys. Time away from the Navy gives Maya Rua some perspective on how Rawatai conducted the Deadfire occupation. No sooner does she return to active duty than she voices her frustrations over some of the more underhanded tactics she witnessed and carried out in the name of the homeland. Her voice carries all the way to the Ranganui, who reminds his admirals that battles are won by superior tactics, but war is a battle of precedent, and winning is not always a victory. The people listen. She looks forward to seeing her brother again. So does Ashiza. The discovery of Ukaizo doesn't bring...
Sorry, Takeo, I only used you for like 40 minutes. You're a cool character, though. It's some cool abilities. Turned into a big hammerhead shark with legs.
On the island ignites something in the Huana tribes.
It's fun that they made like a dire shark.
To recover the past and let history illuminate the way forward.
Ben's up to no good. I'm gonna be right back.
Takehu rides this momentum, leading by example and teaching his people to rely on each other instead of on omens. His message is an upheaval of norms.
There's a porch next to the stream office, and there's a mat out there that has a ton of animal droppings. They're huge. No idea what it is. I think it might be like a mountain lion or something, but I think Ben goes over and talks to it sometimes. I haven't caught it yet.
He bids you farewell, suggesting that you seek your next adventure in a brothel or tavern, where consequences begin and end at the front.
I think it's not a bear.
He sounds eager to leave old conflicts in the past. Your pursuit of Aethys and your journey to Ukaizo signal the end of forces that have shaped the lives of Kith and the course of nations. The cycle of reincarnation has been broken. The storms of Andra's mortar have calmed. Yet each ending promises a new beginning. As the sun rises over Ukaizo, Kith turn their gaze eastward, wondering at what lies beyond, and at the world they will fashion for themselves. As the Watcher of Cadnua and the former Herald of Bareth, you return to your ship and begin the long journey home. You hope for calm weather.
Bring it back to weather. That's fair. Oof. Yeah, we have got blackout curtains over the door that leads to the porch. So Ben will like run over to the curtains, go behind them, and just start like meow barking, chirping. Then I'll go over to check and move the curtain. Whenever he was chirping, it's already gone. So go ahead and put this on. It's nice of them to have the credits fast forward. Sorry, everyone who's awesome. I know there's going to be Kickstarter backers on this list. Wanted to give some closing thoughts. I like Pillars of Eternity quite a bit. I was not as invested in the first game because I hadn't come to a decision yet on reading text out loud. And the first game had much less voice acting. So I think basically everything being voice acted, and that's helped a lot for me to play it without being stressed out. I probably would have enjoyed the first game more if I had played it without streaming it. This one, streaming it, I don't think hurt the experience at all. Most of the things that were stressful for me have been fixed. Inventory management's a lot better. There's still a lot of garbage loot, but it's a lot easier to tell what's garbage and what's not. There's no encumbrance. The turn-based system was great. It was interesting enough that I could see wanting to play this game another time with a different build and with completely different decisions. Like, it feels like you can go on some pretty different tracks on the same order as Paragon versus Renegade and something like Mass Effect. Which sometimes I've played some CRPGs where there's not a ton of difference between the choices that you could make, and that different playthroughs aren't wildly different. But I feel like if you used a completely different party and a completely different main character, that the game would play, it would feel like an almost different game in a lot of respects. It's really good. It's really cool to see Obsidian finishing a game. I've said that a couple times during the playthrough, but like, I got burned really bad by Knights of the Old Republic 2, and was like, I love this game and I love the potential, and I'm so sad that it's not done and it's so buggy. I don't know what changed in their corporate culture, architecture, funding, that they're finishing games now. Pillars 1 felt pretty done too. I didn't feel like it was super buggy and all over the place and missing its third act like Coder and some of the other games they worked on. I'm excited for more adventures in this universe. I can't imagine they could possibly do a Pillars 3 that respects all of the possible choices the players could make here, unless if they do something like split the timeline and pick a timeline to be canon, and then import your character from another timeline into the one that they choose to be canon, right? I could see that working. Or just saying, hey, this is the end of the Watcher of Kednua's story. We're just going to do a third one where we pick one of those decisions to be canon, and we'll refer to them, but we're not going to, like, care what actually was in your save file. Outer Worlds is finished, but kind of boring. Gotcha. The first-person Skyrim-style game in this setting seems like it would be really cool. I think that a lot of the fun is the races and the gods are really well fleshed out, and they've done a really good job of immersing you in them. It might be easier to do an even smaller story. Like, I kind of like that this was very focused on the culture of the Huana and the Rowatayans, and wasn't as worried about, we need to explain to you how this entire game world works, right? Because they'd already gotten that out of the way in Pillars 1. So continuing to do that and like picking regions from their world to focus on, I think is a good way going forward. Avowed has hinted at it's being a prequel based on the art they showed. Gotcha. Yeah, that's fair. They gave you a pretty impactful decision at the end of this one. One day, someone's going to make the game, they're going to make a sequel that imports your save file, and it actually literally is like 3 or 4 different games. But it seems like it's not economical and it's impossible, and that no dev would ever spend the money on that. So maybe one day I'll be proven wrong, but I don't think it's ever going to happen. It just seems too expensive to do. Lots of locales to explore, like the Elder Scrolls world. Yeah. So yeah, this was great. Thanks for the folks who put it on the sheet and helped to vote it up.